Protests continued this morning over the encampment, even as crews hired by the property owner demolished it this morning. The encampment has been here since September, since a black indigenous family in the Red House was evicted.
And they came with a eviction and kicked us out by gunpoint.
Julie Metcalf Kinney is Native American and says her husband's family has owned that Red House since the 1950s.
They didn't have any right to foreclose on my home.
So, Julie, you owned the Red House?
We own it. We still do. They took it by fraud.
She says her family should never have faced foreclosure and eviction. She says she's been fighting that foreclosure for more than 2 years.
We made a stand because they actually stole our house through fraud and deceit through the big banks.
Family filed a federal lawsuit trying to block the eviction. So today I've been digging through court records to understand why the judge threw out their case a year ago. The court documents say the family's trouble started at the end of 2016, the beginning of 2017, when their loan was transferred to another company. The judge says their son demanded proof from the new company that they were legitimate and stopped paying the mortgage. The judge wrote that Kinney's son, who was not a lawyer, filed suit against entities that don't exist, like the United States Corporation Company. And they requested irrelevant, nonsensical, and sometimes offensive information from the financial institutions. One question: what is your nationality? The judge noted the son submitted a state foreclosure avoidance form with Ms. Kinney declaring, "She is sovereign, and you have no jurisdiction on the land of Oregon, and you have falsely accused me of being a citizen of the United States." The judge noted the lawsuit was filed with aliases in addition to legal names. Mr. Kinney was identified as Mickey Farrow, Ms. Kinney, Jewel Empress of Compassion. The lawsuit says the loan transferred several times. The family argued they were confused who to make the payments to. The judge wrote documents to the Kinneys clearly explained the transition between loan servicers and the date payment was to be made to each servicer. Court records say the family missed 17 months of payments and were warned their house would be foreclosed. After the forced sale 2 years ago, the judge said the family tried to transfer the property to their son, who then served a deed on various state officials, including the governor, the Archdiocese of Portland, and sent a copy to an agency in Sweden. So the lawsuit also makes claims they have special rights under the United Nations and American declarations on the rights of indigenous people, but the judge said that didn't apply to this case. Now, we talked to a foreclosure lawyer who stressed to us strongly the Kinneys did a big disservice to themselves trying to litigate the case and not hiring a lawyer.
Portland police share the community's concern about the barricades, occupation, and criminal activity on North Mississippi. Those present at the barricade should leave it behind, put down your weapons, and allow the neighborhood to return to peace and order. We're aware of the stockpile of weapons and the presence of firearms. We are aware of the threats to the community, to media, to police. We've seen the attacks. The Portland police will enforce the law and use force if necessary to restore order to the neighborhood. It can be avoided with those participating ending it peacefully by putting down their weapons and leave the barricade. The people living near the occupation have suffered for weeks. That has grown worse. We understand their suffering. If you live nearby, please report criminal activity in addition to the barricade by calling the police. Remain cautious as you come and go from your home or business. For your own safety, avoid confrontations around the occupation. Those without a need to enter should avoid the area for the time being. This occupation can be solved easily, and we ask those present at the barricades to leave them behind immediately. Allow the neighborhood to return to peace.